another episode of Wirecast Live. You can join us here live every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Okay, let's get going. Basically, I just wanted to say that if you do, or you're interested in live streaming, or you've never streamed before, or it's something that you're interested in doing, then join us here. We're on the Facebook page at Telestream Wirecast Facebook. You can join in the conversation. We have comments, questions. We'll answer your questions on air, and then we will basically kind of dive into a topic each week. Today, we are interviewing a special guest joining us all the way from Florida named Matt Ganzak. And Matt is a business building, marketing, and sales expert. He is an author of a book. He's done numerous seminars. He's just a real expert in the field of marketing to Facebook. And he started in, well, I'll let Matt tell you when he comes on. But basically, we think that he's got a very unique value and perspective to share with you. I think you'll be interested in what he has to tell us today. So, Matt, are you there?
Yes, I am.
There you are.
You got me?
Welcome. Yeah, I see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for being here today. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Matt, why don't you just start by telling people a little bit about your background? I know you started in podcasting and radio. We talked a little bit about yesterday, and now you're almost a full-time business guru. And particularly, your area of expertise is, sales, marketing, conversions, and building your business using live streaming like Facebook Live and other avenues like that. So can you tell us a little bit how you got started and where you're at now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started in radio and broadcasting, and I was getting really good at being on air and on radio. And I got to the point in 2005, 2006 that I said, this isn't going to be a 50-year career for me. I need to do something different. I need to stay ahead of the technology. I don't need to be behind the technology as being, 21 years old back then and, just starting to get into my career and just starting to get into business. And I said, all right, I have to be ahead of the latest curves and the latest technology. So I started developing websites in 2005, 2006, and that ended up taking me to New York City, and I went and worked for one of the most visited websites online, and I worked for them for 5 years. And I was really able to hone my skills in building traffic. We had tens of millions of visitors every single day to our website, which was insane. So I really got to hone my skills at direct marketing and bringing people in, putting people through sales funnels. Even before it really even was called a sales funnel, that's what we were doing. So it got to the point that I said, I want to create solutions for small businesses. And this was 3 years ago. I went off on my own and started helping to build small businesses. People have, their startup ideas, they have their dreams, they have their passions. They try to get those things online. Sure, it's super easy to put a beautiful website online, thanks to WordPress and Wix, but how do you really get that message out there? How do you tell your story? How do you communicate your passions with your audience? That was something that I took a step back and said, how can I do this better? And I got into podcasting, and it was great. Podcasting was great for me. I reached the top 10 of the podcasting business October of 2 years ago, and I didn't really have a monetization plan at that point. So I took a step back again and said, where is the future? And it's in video, it's in live video. So that's when, I started doing this live video, and I connected with you guys. And over the last 6 months, actually, I haven't been advertising at all. Last year, I advertised, one of my highest months of advertising was $30,000 in 1 month of advertising. And I just felt like I wasn't making connections with people. Yeah, I was able to put thousands of people through a program. Yeah, I was able to make good money, but I really wasn't connecting with people. So through using Wirecast and through using Facebook Live, it's been absolutely amazing that I've been able to meet a lot of the people who have, clicked on ads or seen my work, or, they have questions. And the number one question I keep getting asked is, how do I get Facebook ads to work? How do I make Facebook work for my business? And so I get to talk about that every single morning. And through doing that, I have met so many people and heard so many stories and really learned from my audience, because that's really the key to Facebook advertising, is knowing your audience. So from that, I could spend a considerable amount of money targeting the wrong people with the wrong solutions. And however, just by doing this, I'm able to get on live on Facebook and talk to people and hear what their real problems are and hear them directly from them. And then we're able to create solutions. And we talked a little bit about those solutions. And some of the things that we do, I have a whiteboard right here. So I could turn the camera and be on live on Facebook, and I could be drawing out campaigns and marketing right here on the whiteboard. And we also do other things in our closed Facebook group, and we're really able to use and leverage this software to communicate our passions and communicate what it is that we do every day. But beyond that, I'm able to deliver my product. I'm able to deliver my training, even in a paid method and in a free method as well within Facebook Live. So it's absolutely been amazing.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot to unpack there because what you've done is basically I think adapted to a new streaming medium that just wasn't available as of like 6 months ago. So
Yeah.
the fact that you're moving this quickly and using Facebook Live to build a business, to market, and to even monetize and package your product and your information in a monetizable way to your customers or to your fans or people that are watching you is really interesting. So I'd like to get into that a little bit. It's funny when you mentioned when you approached us about the time Facebook Live was just coming online. I remember reading your emails to us and saying, you're really interested in Wirecast as a potential solution for your needs, particularly on Facebook Live. And, you'd been using OBS at the time, or up to that point, I think, and you quickly moved over from OBS to Wirecast as your kind of live streaming solution of choice. Could you talk a little bit about that decision? I'm very curious as to why Wirecast became kind of your go-to software for that. What was it offering you that you just couldn't find somewhere else? And the reason I ask that is because I get that question a lot, and I'm not familiar with OBS at all. So can you maybe speak to that? Obviously, since I started working at Telestream, I've only ever known Wirecast. So it's interesting to me to find out what we're doing that's working for you guys. And so I can pass that along and keep hopefully building on that.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I like everything that I do to look good, sound good, and it's one of my passions is, hey, if you're going to do something, you might as well do it right. Listen, I'm talking to you right now through a Sony 4K camera. Sure, I went and spent $800 for my webcam, but you know what? I'll spend $800 on it just to make sure everything looks super crisp and super good. And right now we're broadcasting through Skype and then over through to you. So that being said, when I go direct from this camera direct into Wirecast, it looks super crisp and it is so nice. And then I have a lav mic on right now, so that's why you don't hear a lot of room noise. And I have lights here and a white screen behind me and a circle light in front of me as well. So I have this place perfectly lit, perfectly sounding, perfectly looking. And then I go on to OBS and I try to start broadcasting there, and it starts getting garbled up and the audio wasn't matching up with the video. And there were so many issues with the software. And then I tried to interview people just like this. I tried to bring people into Skype and it wasn't working. I was trying to do split screen. It was lowering the quality of what I was trying to do. And listen, I have a 4K camera broadcasting right now. Obviously you can't broadcast in 4K because the internet wouldn't be able to take it, right. But I can upload in 1080p to YouTube, and it looks amazing when I broadcast live. So I want everything to look good, sound good, because it matches my quality of the content that I'm putting out. So that being said, OBS wasn't filling my needs because I have everything else. Like, listen, I've invested thousands of dollars in all this equipment. I got a brand new iMac. I just went and bought a brand new iMac just to dedicate to this. And I invested in all of this, and OBS was not putting my message online like I needed it to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wanted to stop using something that was lowering the quality of my content, and I flipped over to working with you guys, and I deleted OBS instantly after just 5 minutes using your software. So it was so simple to make that decision. And now I have people coming on every single day and asking me, Matt, how do you do the things that you do on Facebook Live? And I get to tell them every single day, it's this piece of software, Wirecast 7, along with all the other equipment I have that it allows me to broadcast every single day like this.
Yeah, do you think that people need thousands of dollars of equipment to do what you're doing?
Absolutely not. I'm just ridiculous.
You're a special case. I appreciate that as kind of a gearhead myself and somebody who likes to make sure that we try to optimize quality wherever and whenever possible. I totally empathize with what you're saying. At the same
Yeah.
time, I also understand that not everybody has the means to go out and get the nicest camera or to get the nicest computer. So, what is it in terms of the core functionality and the core value that you're doing right now that Wirecast is enabling you to do? What is it that you see as literally the one or two or three most important things that we're helping you to do in either building your business or reaching others?
Yeah, it's just been incredible that you're able to turn on a camera. And I tell this to my clients and tell this to the people following me all the time. If you're really truly passionate about what you do and what you are doing, get this software or just use your phone just to get started, but eventually upgrade to get this software. Just turn on Facebook Live and just start talking about your passions and talking about why you do what you do, why you're so passionate about your business. And I say this over and over again with the clients is, you know what? If you're not passionate about your business and you can't get on Facebook Live and talk about the benefits of working with you or benefits of buying your product, you might need to look at going and finding a new product to sell. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, then how can you ever expect other people to be passionate about your business as well,
Right.
and purchase your product? So from that standpoint, I think that it's phenomenal that I can use a piece of software that's completely set up for me. I do a broadcast every morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my page. And what I'm able to do is literally I can walk into the studio here, have everything all set up, and within 5 minutes, I'm able to be live. So when I was on OBS, I had to open up all the things and get everything all set back up and get everything, looking good. And had the audio syncing and the latency and all that other stuff. And it just wasn't working for me. But since moving over to your software, all I have to do is just walk in and hit a couple of buttons, and it's working perfectly fine. And to go back to your comment about the camera, you can go and grab like a Logitech camera for $100, $200, and it's going to look phenomenal for you. It's just I had ridiculous things like zooming, and I wanted to make sure that it auto zoomed onto me as I'm on the whiteboard and stuff like that. So I just had my own set of requirements that I needed. Mm-hmm. But for those people that are just going live, I mean, listen, you don't need to buy a $1,000 camera to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What I'd actually like you to give us an example, maybe in a little bit, or show us the whiteboard situation, because I think that's a really cool way to do that. And I know that people often want to be able to map out information or do flow charts or so forth, which is very helpful, especially when describing sales funnels or conversions or email campaigns. And so if anybody's curious about what Matt's doing, obviously Matt, you're live every morning, and they can kind of tune into your page. Is it Matt Ganzak on Facebook, all one word?
Yeah, that's one. And then I have my fan page as well. But I've been doing a lot of stuff through my personal page actually lately.
Yeah, why is that?
Because it's really letting people know on your personal page. And I encourage everyone to use their personal pages as well to broadcast, which is really nice also about your software. I'm able to broadcast directly into groups. I'm able to broadcast onto my personal page and onto any of the pages that I manage. And it's so simple to get set up. And with OBS, I had to use a workaround in order to broadcast to my personal page, which was kind of annoying having to go through the workaround. Mm-hmm. So it's been nice being able to use your software where I can go direct into it through the Facebook Live Connect.
Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit, because I do like, with Facebook, obviously, Facebook's a complex animal. You've got groups, you've got pages, you've got personal pages, you've got profiles and so forth. And so it can be a little maybe daunting to people wanting to know where to start streaming first, or how to best use some of the features that you are available there. There's kind of a wealth of features. So why would you want to broadcast to your personal page versus, say, a fan page? And what is it about maybe, and then when would you want to, or when do you recommend people broadcast to groups? What are the advantages of each?
Yeah, absolutely. The number one thing is Facebook wants to show your content to people who actually want your content. And from that standpoint, so many people that are doing Facebook Live are interested in getting into Facebook Live. So many people have a fan page, and every single post that they put online needs to be boosted. So they'll post it to their fan page. They don't get the activity they're looking for, and then they go and start boosting the content. Well, why do that? Why is that going on? It's because the Facebook algorithm has put more leverage to the personal pages versus the brand pages. However, there are situations where some brands are, like they're huge, and they have millions of followers. Every time they post something, it goes crazy. But listen, most of the people on here are watching this right now probably don't have a million fans on Facebook. I understand that. A lot of the people that watch my broadcast, they're just getting started. The best place to get started is on your personal page, because people, honestly, the first people who are going to start buying your product, start talking about your product, start being your referrals, affiliates, and so forth, are the people who you already know. So if you really are serious about your business, if you're really serious about what it is that you're doing, use your personal page. If you want to make that segment of, hey, I don't want to use my personal page, I want to use my money, because we talk about that all the time as well. You have a choice. Either you can leverage your time and leverage what you already have, the resources you already have, or you can leverage your money. And most people don't want to spend $5,000, $10,000 a month building an audience on Facebook. Listen, I can spend that money in other ways to grow my business, in other advertising and so forth. So I would rather use my personal page to start connecting with people. And I tried to move it actually over to my fan page, and people started getting mad because on my personal page, it was pinging more people to let them know I was live versus my fan page. Literally, people were asking me like, hey, when are you going live? I was like, I am live. I'm on my fan page. And they said, oh, we've been waiting for you. And nothing came up on our phone. Nothing let us know that you were live. So from that standpoint, Facebook does put more weight to your personal page than it will to a fan page that's just getting up and started.
Have you tried the method of, say, streaming to your fan page? And when you say fan page, we're really talking about a business page, right?
Yes.
A corporate enterprise. There's no official one person connected to that. It's kind of a non-person entity page, right?
In a sense. Matt's,
I mean, your brand is you, but like
Right.
with something like
Yeah,
ScreenFlow
exactly.
or Wirecast or Coca-Cola, they can't have a page that's a person, right? They have a
Yep.
page that's a brand.
Yep.
So your brand page might be a better way to put it. So have you tried the method of streaming from to your brand page and then sharing that to your personal page? And
Yeah,
does that work for pinging?
it doesn't ping them. It doesn't let them know. It doesn't tell them that I'm live. And it's the craziest thing. I actually worked on it for an entire week, and people were getting frustrated messaging me. And I was like, well, if you just go to my wall on my page, I did share it over there. Okay, I see it now. I missed the first 10 minutes. I hate this. So I went back to my fan page, or to my personal page, and I went back to using my personal page. People come on every single day and they thank me for doing that, because they get notified. It's like, Matt's live, and it pops up on their phone, and
Right.
it lets them know that I'm live, and it puts it down in the little chat corner and whatnot. So it makes it super simple for people to find me. And maybe eventually I'll go back over to my brand page. But for now, like, I'm just sharing out from my personal page out
Right.
to my brand page. And you can see some of the top people are doing the same thing. Like, you even look at, some of the other social media influencers. They've built up their personal pages, and they get so much more activity off their personal pages versus their brand page. And it's insane to me why that is, because Facebook puts so much more weight to people who actually want to see the content, and they think that your friends on Facebook actually want to see your content more. That's why you'll see more of that content and more group content as well. And you're seeing less brand page content in your Facebook feeds now.
It's interesting because that is in itself a very interesting topic of conversation, because Facebook, its value to your everyday person is somebody who's not trying to make money on it, somebody who's just on there to just, connect with friends, family, and share life stories, keep in touch through long distances. I mean, it's a network. It's a social network. It's what you do. You hang out. Now, then, of course, there's the need for people and businesses to leverage that, and Facebook to actually monetize that. And so how do you strike that balance between being too commercial and being too personal? And that filters all the way down from, say, a Facebook algorithm in terms of weighting content to somebody like yourself or us who or a home business person who's trying to strike a work-life balance. I want to have my Facebook page that's really just for family and connection and sharing fun, and that has very little or nothing to do with, say, my business life. And I don't want the two contents to get all intermixed. So
Yeah.
do you have recommendations for that? Is there a way that you strike that balance?
Absolutely. Part of my background as well, I used to be in music. I work with bands, and I was in music for several years. And I used to work with musicians as they were dealing with the same problem. As they were getting started, they were just using their personal page, and their personal page starts growing. They get a fan page. The fan page starts growing. Their personal page grows to the point that they don't know anyone on it, and they went and created another personal page and then went and added all their close friends.
Mm-hmm.
So if it grows to the place that you have so many people connected then with you,
Mm-hmm.
and tens of thousands of people trying to connect with you, you can go ahead and create another page for yourself and then go and make that just for your friends and family. But really, this platform is, you have to go where the people are,
Right.
and you have to go where the opportunity is. Listen, again, you can use this and use this software and go live on Facebook every day. For the last 6 months, I've spent $0 in advertising. And like I said, I've made better connections than when I was spending up to $30,000 a month in advertising, just from the standpoint of being able to communicate and talk to people each day. And from that, I mean, it's free to do this. It's just leveraging a little bit of my time, spending a little bit of my time to do this. And it's really not that hard, but I'm able to communicate that with people every single day. And listen, I'm not getting too salesy. It's not like I'm on buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, buy this. It's just a matter of, hey, here's what I'm passionate about, and here's what I can help you with today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my passion. That's what I like to do.
That makes sense. And honestly, it's interesting that you put it in terms of the, and I just want to stop for a second and say, the chat here is pretty active. So first of all, Live Streaming Pros, thanks for commenting there. There's some great tips and some links that they're putting there. Melissa Brown, real fast, she says, Matt, you're amazing, and Scale Up is amazing. So great job. So anyway, anybody who's kind of hanging out, check that out. And we can talk a little bit more about some of the information Live Streaming Pros is sharing. But I was going to say, it's interesting that you mentioned that you really want, having your personal life and your business life be two kind of mixed together is actually kind of a good problem to have at that point, because you should be lucky to have that problem, because if you're getting big enough at the point where you're no longer recognizing anyone in your network to that scale that you then need to start kind of a personal page, then you've done exactly what you're recommending, which is you've leveraged your existing resources, you've built your network and your friends, and you've shared what you're passionate about. You're not overselling, but you're at least sharing information, and the right people will share it with the right people, and they'll find you and they'll help you that way. And at that point, it's time to let that thing be its own entity, and then you can go back and kind of re-establish core connections or something, a little network that's used for a different purpose. But that makes sense. I think I never thought about it that way. You wouldn't necessarily want to do it the reverse, because you don't have, if you start a personal profile too early, then people are going to jump on there. You're going to be back to zero again, and nobody's going to be sharing or building it out again. You're just going to be kind of stuck right where you were again. So it's an interesting point that you really need to do it in that order. Otherwise, it's not going to be that useful to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk about groups real fast. When is it useful? Why do you use groups? How do you use groups?
Yeah, I have a couple of different groups. One of the groups is a closed secret group, and I just have my people in there who have purchased some of our programs. And what I like to do is bring people in and do some group sessions. So if you have a problem and we're not able to break through one of these problems, I'll say, hey, do you mind if we go live with this? Because I feel like a lot of other people are having this issue. So I'll do exactly what we're doing here. I'll split the screen and have the client on with me. I can bring up PowerPoint presentations. I can bring up their website. I can bring up other parts of a presentation that we can do these right there live. I do a lot of webinars. I do a lot of webinar work. I have webinars running all the time that are outside of Facebook. And people are watching my content and so forth, some of it evergreen. But the ability to do this live and pull people in from Facebook on the fly and say, hey, listen, we're doing this session with this person. We're going to be talking about some tweaks to get their Facebook ads working. come on in and maybe this can help you out as well. So from that standpoint, it's been amazing to go live in the group, and it just adds more value to the group and what they paid for. And then I can go out and sell that through my webinars and through my other content to encourage other people to join our organization and join what we do. And they'll get access to these Facebook Live sessions. And even if they're chosen, we can do a live session directly with them as well and have other people come on and watch them, and we all learn together as we go.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, so I think that groups are one of those key strategic resources for people. Do you recommend always starting your own? I mean, are there ones that where do you come down on that? Should you always start your own group? Should you really try to find others that are already well established? When to make, which choice?
Yeah, for example, Melissa was on here and she just left a comment in there. She found me through the ClickFunnels group, and I put out a free Facebook ad course on YouTube, and she watched it, went through the content, and said, I need to hire this guy. I need to find this guy. So she goes out and went to my personal page. So went from the ClickFunnels group, went to my personal page, watched a couple of the Facebook Live videos that I was putting out. And again, as people are prospecting, as they're prospecting you, because people will do research on you if you're a consultant. They will do research on you to see if they're going to hire you or not. So as I'm doing these Facebook Lives and every single day coming on and just bringing amazing value and amazing content every single morning, she came on. She's like, I forget it. I need to hire you. So she came on and joined up with us. And we've been working together for about 60, 90 days now. And it was all because of getting into groups and just helping people, creating free content, as well as putting out free content on Facebook Live.
That's cool. So Live Streaming Pros, we'll be having them on the show in a little while, a few weeks. They actually shared a couple points about what we've been talking about, because they also are very heavily involved in helping people stream and build businesses streaming to Facebook Live. And one thing they're pointing out, or they actually created a really handy, quick GIF for people that are curious about this, but their point is that if you really want the fan pages or the brand pages to work for live streaming and notifying people, it's more about educating your followers. You just have to be very clear with them that they're not going to get the posts or the notifications unless you go to they go up to the brand page, to the following tab, and go down and check the all live posts. So I actually I pulled up the GIF here on my screen. Okay. So there we go. So this is just showing people where on the fan page or brand page. Matt, have you tried this? Did this work? I'm sure you were trying to troubleshoot this. So you were still noticing there were some issues with it?
Yeah, I have several people that work for me. I have several people that are obviously live subscribed, and none of them got pinged.
Yeah,
so
that's frustrating.
I said, forget it. I'm not battling Facebook on this one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to broadcast from here.
Makes sense. You got to go where the people are, like you said, and if this isn't going to work for you, it doesn't work for you. Those of you who are having trouble with that or curious, please let us know. I'm always very interested, because so many Wirecast customers rely on Facebook and Facebook Live, and Facebook's always changing things. Sometimes they break, sometimes they're working for, I heard like at any one time there's like 50 different versions of the Facebook page. Site, and it's being tested in different markets or different segments, and you may see a very different Facebook page than somebody else, or site may interact with it differently. So I think it's really on us to try to share what's going on, because it's a fluid system, and if things aren't working for one person, it's very important, I think, to speak up, and the more, hopefully, if it's a common issue, Facebook will get the message and fix it.
Yeah. I mean, I built a page up to 1 million fans, and obviously we get a ton of activity on that site, and it's great. We're able to broadcast to those people. We get thousands of people on the feeds, and we're able to engage with people. Yeah, it's great. But I would tell you, one of the biggest problems that's out there today, I work with tons of different clients, and one of the biggest problems is the content isn't even getting seen. And if the content isn't even getting seen, it's not even notifying people. Even when they do have that notification on, I'm quite familiar with the notification, even when it's on, it's still not being seen. Mm-hmm. That's definitely a concern and definitely a problem. I made the mistake that I spent a considerable amount of money in Facebook like campaigns. I spent over $40,000 in like campaigns. So that's how I built up to 80 some thousand fans on Facebook, and it's not showing my content to them. So if it doesn't show the content to them, they can't engage with it. If
It's
they
a
can't
waste of
engage
money
with
on
it,
your
it
part.
won't show it.
Right.
End of story.
Yeah, makes sense. And so you're clearly someone who's approached this, try to crack this nut from a lot of different angles, which is why I really wanted to bring you on here. So I think that for those of you who are watching or seeing this later, clearly Matt knows of which he talks and has tried a lot of, and is constantly experimenting and refining your process. Matt, where are you at today? What is it like, if you were to recommend right now somebody who's going to start building their business on Facebook and trying to advertise, get their content to people who would care about, how would you do it? Starting from basically
really,
scratch.
It's about creating a product. It's about creating something that's desirable. That's one of the biggest problems with people's Facebook ads or with their messaging on Facebook, is the thing that they're doing isn't desirable. What they're talking about or what they're selling isn't actually desirable to people. And maybe it is. Maybe it is a desirable thing. Maybe it is something that people want or people need. But your ability to communicate that is what you need to hone. You need to work on your story. You need to work on your 5-second, 10-second pitch and understand, here is how I communicate this. And the one thing I keep going back to, and I talk about this all the time, is, think about an infomercial. Think about the direct marketing is about the pain, and it's the person's pain. Your product is the pleasure. Your delivery of your product solves their problem, solves their pain. And as you're able to communicate that right here on live or, right in your ads, that's how you will start connecting with people. So Facebook Live, you're able to meet people, you're able to understand what their frustrations are. As you start learning what their frustrations are, you're able to then start solving their problems with your product. And that's what's so nice about Facebook Live.
And so you basically are all in on streaming every day, live streaming. You've dropped ads. You're basically saying, look, it doesn't make sense for me to pay for ads at this point. Live streaming is higher, more highly shared, more highly boosted naturally within the Facebook algorithm system, and it's direct interaction, and it's good content. It's archivable, reviewable, evergreen content. So there's a lot of reasons why you recommend live streaming, right? And why you kind of are exclusively focused on that right now. Can you talk a little bit about that?
No more paying for likes. I'm not paying for any more likes, and I'm not boosting any other posts. I see so many people doing Facebook Live videos on their on their fan pages, however, and then they boost them because you see the little thing that says sponsored, and you can see that it's a live video. And I said, why is this person, doing the live video and then having to boost just to get some activity? On my personal page, I'm able to go live and have 200 to 400 to 500 views per video per day, every single day. Some of them, the topics, people come in and, really start hitting on some topics. Another problem is I should be doing it later in the afternoon because people on the West Coast aren't really getting up that early at 10 a.m. East Coast time.
Right.
But I'm just doing this now for the purpose of getting started and starting to get my feet wet and honing my skills at being live as well and, presenting and so forth. So later on, I will make this switch over as people come on and, start watching more often. I'll make the switch to do it later in the afternoon. But normally my afternoons are really deep into doing things that are making money. This is just honing my skills. And I just remember what Gary Vee was saying when he was starting Wine Library TV. He did 200 episodes and no one was watching at all. I already have 200 views every single day. I'm way ahead of where he was when he started doing video on YouTube. So I'm completely happy with where I am. And it's brought in some of the best clients I have ever had in the last couple of months, just because I come on and tell it as it is and help some people along the way and just talk about my passions.
That's great. So what do you talk about in the day-to-day episodes? It sounds like that, you're on 10 a.m., you're on air, you've got to find something to talk about for that day. How far out ahead are you mapped? How fluid is that? And what, for example, what did you talk about today? Why? What was a reason for somebody to tune in for your show today? What specific types of content or tips do you share?
Yeah, how honest do you want me to be? A lot of times my show prep is in the morning in the shower
Hmm.
because it's something about being in the shower. I was reading about this
I've heard this.
psychologically. It's a
Hmm.
great time for us to brainstorm because we don't have any technology, we don't have anything in there to distract us. So it's a great time to actually start brainstorming. So when I come out of the shower, I make the plans and write out bullet points and start creating the slides for my presentations.
Hmm.
So it's each morning I do a show prep. And this morning we were talking about where you see yourself in 5 years and just talking about what you're doing today, going back to say, what I was doing 5 years ago. Actually, 5 years ago today, I was standing in the JFK airport with a check for $2 million, handing out to somebody, one of our sweepstakes winners. We surprised them as they flew in and they won our sweepstakes. I was handing a check for $2 million. So
That's awesome.
that was what I was doing 5 years ago. And I was just talking about where I am today versus where I was then. Because, hey, sweepstakes, it's like, I don't want to do that the rest of my life. That wasn't something I saw myself doing. But working for one of the top websites online and learning a ton from that site, listen, it's insane when you start working on a site that has 10 million visitors a day. I guarantee you not a single person on here can say that they work for a company that had 10 million visits a day to their websites.
Hmm.
So it was an incredible experience that I had, but I knew that I had to move on. So we were talking about that today. Yesterday, just to scroll back a little bit, yesterday I was talking about bringing value and how to bring value in what you do. And the day before, just scrolling back, we were talking about how you invest your time because you need to consider your time as one of the most valuable resources that you have. And you need to consider investing your time just like you would invest your money
Hmm.
and value your time just as much as you value your money because it's one and the same.
Well, so that's all really valuable stuff. It's almost like not only being a business coach, but being a life coach as well at the same time. What who are your mentors? Who's coaching you? I mean, obviously you're having to kind of figure this stuff out as you go along, as most people have to. But where do you look to for guidance?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had several mentors throughout the years. The mentor I worked for at that previous company, he was amazing and absolutely taught me all the things that I know today. A lot of the things, basic knowledge, and then I went on to go and research and learn more about those things. And then some of my clients that ended up coming in, multimillionaires coming in and hiring me to, build their audience and build what they're doing. I've learned so much from them and going and helping them build their brands and putting their brands online. Just learning from these people that have made, tens of millions of dollars in internet marketing just over the past couple of years. It's just been absolutely amazing learning from those people. And then I also went through Brennan Burchard's training. I've gone through all of Jeff Walker's training, Frank Kern's training, as well as I'm just reading the books that I can see from here. So I've gone through all these guys' training,
You got a
and it's
shelf of
just been
books.
amazing learning Russell Brunson and all these other guys, just learning what they did to create massive success. And it's really about finding the right opportunity, building an audience, being passionate about what you do, and just working at it every single day and just chipping away at it every single day, knowing that eventually the thing's going to tip over and just a flood of interest or a flood of sales or a flood of whatever it is that you're trying to build is going to tip over and happen for you. And
Hmm.
it could happen at any time. So I just keep going every single morning thinking that somebody's going to share out one of my live broadcasts and I'm going to get 1 million views on this thing. Who
Hmm.
knows? It
Hmm.
totally could happen. I need to, just stay positive that that's going to continue happening and just keep working at it every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. And showing up to work every day is I think the Woody Allen quote is 90% of success is just showing up or something like that,
Yeah.
paraphrasing, but just being there and putting in the work every day because not everyone's willing to be as consistent. And so what's going to really differentiate people are people who are there every day, like you at 10 a.m. So wow, that's a lot of good stuff to talk about. I think that there's maybe just a couple other things I'd like to cover with you if while we have you. And then I'd like to maybe wrap up with folks at the end. We can do a quick Periscope tutorial. I did one yesterday. It was sort of on the fly. We'll do another one today just to show people again in case it's useful to you. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. But Matt, just kind of in the last phase of our interview today, and I just want to say thanks for spending this time with us. It's really been valuable and informative, and I hope that people are really paying attention because you're sharing a lot of information that I think will be useful to them.
Yeah,
So,
anytime. I'm more than happy to help you guys out, and I love your software. I love what you guys are doing. So just keep it up, and it's again just consistency, and consistency is the key. Just doing it every single day. And if you don't mind that I throw out a little plug if anyone's interested.
yeah,
But
I actually want you to share where people can find more information about you, get signed up for things. Actually, I'd love it if you could share some links in the comments too, either to some of the
will,
courses
after
you
the
mentioned
fact.
and to your own places. So please do that, and we'll repost those on the YouTube video information as well. So anything you post there, we can copy and paste there. But yeah, please go ahead.
Absolutely. So you can go to milliondollarplan.net and grab some free information. I have some free training on there for you, and it'll connect you up to some of the free Facebook Live training and some of the other free content. So go and sign up at milliondollarplan.net. Also, I have my book. If you want to grab a copy of it, it's on Amazon. I hit the #1 bestseller in all my categories,
Nice.
and did that in actually multiple different countries. So it's just been amazing learning how to do the things I do. And inside my book, The $1 Million Plan, Leveraging Technology to Scale, I talk a lot about these things. I talk a lot about the software platforms that I use. I wasn't actually talking about Wirecast because I wrote the book before
We'll
we
have to get
started
you
doing this.
in the next edition.
Yeah, we'll have to add it into a second edition. But I talk about a lot of the content in here that's the stepping blocks to creating some of the most successful ad campaigns ever online. I will say, I am responsible for some of the most annoying advertisement banner ads you've ever seen in history. So definitely, don't get mad at me for the ad banners, but you can read about them and read about my story inside the $1 Million Plan, and learn how to build your own $1 Million Plan right inside of there.
Yeah. So internet marketing, it's such that term didn't exist prior to 15, 20 years ago, right? So and even now it's just really, I think, coming into the mainstream in the last 5, 10 years. So as somebody who's setting out, I know a lot of people that either have small businesses, would like to increase their sales, that would like to just bring in more customers, find more people to bring value to. What are in your opinion, you talked about one, I think the key ingredient, which is passion, right? Number one, you're not going to get up in the morning. Nobody's going to care unless you care, right? And so that's just your starting point. But once you have the passion, what are the 3 main things to have in your toolkit, or what are the 3 next steps to take to just immediately start seeing a difference, and to start walking down this road that you're helping to coach people on?
Yeah, absolutely. Number 1, perfect your organic traffic. If you can master organic traffic, you can win. Listen, I had a
What do you
blog
mean?
that I
Can you
put
define organic traffic? What do you mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to talk about that. I put a blog online. It was really stupid. I was teaching people how to build, how to beat Candy Crush levels when Candy Crush was crazy.
Nice.
And it was insane. Like, I started making like $10,000 a month from Google AdSense because I had ads all around these levels on how to beat Candy Crush levels. Mm-hmm. So just by knowing how to do SEO, I was able to put millions of people onto these pages and make thousands of dollars from just doing that and putting ads on a page. Now you can think about that with 1 million visitors. If you're able to capitalize on that and make more than just 20 or 30 cents per click on an ad, where you have whatever it is, a 10% click-through rate or 15% click-through rate, you can imagine if you really had something desirable that you were selling on there and you were making $10, $20, $30 per sign up or per sale, then it would have been amazing. So
right.
I think about that, and think about the people who can master organic traffic or SEO, that being one. Second.
1 second.
Go ahead.
Before you go to the next step, I'm really interested in this. So let me get this straight. The way that you were able to do that is you found something people were interested in. You kind of found the Candy Crush. People were constantly looking for this. So you optimized the search keywords for people by buying ads that said, want to know how to beat this, want to know how to beat that. So your pages were linked higher in the sponsored links at the top of a Google search.
I didn't buy ads. All I did was just follow the SEO strategies to rank higher. And it's super simple. It's like, just have the title, just have your keyword, your right keyword that you're targeting, put it in your URL, put it in your title, put it in everything that you can in the body, have, good content written, put a video up on YouTube, create a Facebook profile, Twitter profile, link to it. But just knowing, I have an entire SEO course, by the way.
Okay.
But just linking to that, I was able to get a considerable amount of traffic onto my pages. And then just taking that a step further.
That's where people would watch that. And then you had advertising on your pages. You said, hey, if you want to buy that. And then out of every 100 people that visited to watch a Candy Crush thing, they might click on one or two of the ads or something like that. Okay.
Yeah, about a 10% click-through rate.
Right.
So it was just phenomenal. But that was kind of my first step. That was about 4 years ago now. And then the second step was starting to learn. So first, master how to rank in search engines. Master how to put traffic in front of people who are actually looking for the traffic.
Right.
Number two is learn how to use YouTube. Learn how to use the keywords in YouTube. Learn how to rank your videos in YouTube over other people's videos. I have a video that I did actually this time last year. It was October of last year. And it's up over 40,000 organic views. Again, organic means I didn't pay for the traffic at all.
Right.
So I've had 40,000 views on one video that I did on YouTube. And listen, most people's YouTube channels are pretty stagnant. They're getting, 20 views, 30 views, 40 views. I'm getting pretty consistent views now that I had all of that activity on that one video. I ended up going from like 30 or 40 subscribers up over 1,200, I think it is now. And it's all just from one video on YouTube using the right title. And the title, I'll even tell you what it is, Facebook ad strategy for 2016. I'll probably do one Facebook ad strategy for 2017. You can do the exact same thing.
Perfect.
And you can try to compete with me. So I'll do the same thing again. And it's probably about time that I start, putting that video up because we're coming up pretty quick.
So so then you've got the YouTube search optimization, which again is a whole probably little course in itself. And so now you've learned to basically optimize organic traffic or maximize organic traffic, people who are already interested in the topic. So I think that is key, right? You have a topic you're interested in, you have a topic other people are interested in. Now you've got a match. Now all you have to do is just make sure they know about it or they can find you when they're looking for you and that you're the first person that pops up. Okay, so now you've got your funnel. You're building your funnel.
Yeah.
We're on to stage 3 now, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I would consider those both step one.
Step one, okay. Padawans here.
I would just show up when people are looking for you. So have your content show up first when people are looking for you. Step 2 is have good headlines and solve people's problems with your product. Solve people's problems with your headline. Communicate those very clearly. Here is what we're doing, and here is how you take action. As somebody comes to your landing page, they're going to ask themselves a few different things. 1, is this for me? 2, how can I benefit from this? 3, have other people benefited from this? 4, how do I take action? If you're able to communicate those all like that within 15 seconds, you will have a considerable amount of people signing up to your pages. We get 60 to 80% sign-up rates on our pages. So you can imagine now with those 40,000 people who go and watch our video throughout this past year, and X amount of them come over to our page, then X amount of them are signing up to our offers. Most people can't accomplish that. It's absolutely free traffic, and we are now converting people into leads and eventually into sales. Just from that one video, I don't know how much money we made, like tens of thousands, if not $100,000 off of that one video. So it's been just phenomenal. And then we can take that money, and then this is step 3. You take that money and start investing it into advertising, because if you have a stream of income, if you have a stream of money coming in without considering the ads, because listen, when you put that credit card in and you start, paying for advertising and it just doesn't work, it's not going to work for you. It's going to be a bad thing when you can't pay your rent. And, that was the money going out the door that was trying to, pay your bills and so forth. So don't get into a place where, you need to spend this $100, and if you don't make that $100 back, you can't keep your lights on. That's not a good situation. So make sure you do have the money coming in before you go and start spending the money in advertising. And that's why I've been, really honing on these skills and honing on bringing in free traffic and then able to teach people how to do the same thing. listen, a lawyer went through my SEO course, and now he's ranking #1 in the entire state of Florida for a very difficult keyword. You can imagine how much money that's made him. And what I said, like, hey, if a lawyer can figure out how to do this, you can figure out how to do it. So listen, anyone can learn. It's just a matter of, are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to be consistent? And are you willing to go all in and go the distance to, create success?
So how much like content, because everyone always talks about that, not only SEO, but you also have to have good or renewing or refreshing content. I mean, where are you at with that? Are you, obviously you're a daily guy, but I don't think daily works for everybody. Where are you at with that? Like at least once a week, at least once a month? Like, what's your opinion on making sure that people have consistent, good content?
Yeah, even if you're just checking in with people and just flipping open your phone or flipping over open Wirecast, just communicate with your audience. Just communicate with your people. If you have something cool that's going on in your life or cool that you want to share with them, just flip it open. Listen, some of the best live videos I've done is just something popped up in front of me, or money was generated, or something cool happened, and I was like, all right, well, I want to share this. I want to share this with people. And so I would just pop something open and just start showing people, and people start going crazy over it. And then they're like, oh, where do I sign up? Where do I sign up? So I think one of the biggest things is, always be on the lookout for something that can create success in your life, and become like a yes man or a yes woman, a yes person, where you say, yes, I will go and do that. Yes, I'll go and experience that. Yes, I will try something new. I'll step out of my, comfort zone. I'll try, something different. I'll make an investment in something different. Listen, I've made an investment of a lot of crazy things, buying drones and buying this and buying that. It's really helped me step up my video marketing and step up the things that I'm doing. And I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life. I've made a lot of sacrifices in, different things. I would love to go on different vacations and do this and do that. I used to do that. I used to travel the world and, just kind of live the life. But when I made the decision that I said, hey, I'm going to stop the ridiculousness and I'm going to start investing in me and investing in my future, that's when my business and when my life really started taking off. So people need to have the hard conversation with themselves and look themselves in the mirror and say, is this where I want to be in 5 years? And that was the topic of the broadcast earlier. Do I want to be in the same place I'm in? Or am I going to tell this guy, I am not going to be mediocre anymore. I'm not going to continue on the path I'm on. I'm going to make a difference in my life. And that's what it comes down to, is just deciding I want to do something different. So, hey, listen, if live video isn't for you, or, I am trained in broadcasting. I used to be on air with broadcasting. So, I was kind of up to speed already. So to go back, if you're just getting started, just get started. I started someplace. I had to, the first time I was live on the radio, my coworkers had to take me out and get me drunk in order to get me to actually turn on a mic and start talking. So it was insane that I was so nervous I couldn't even do it. And now it's just like clockwork, just because I'm used to it. I've been on TV, and I've actually been on stage in front of 50,000 people before. So yeah, I'm just totally used to it now. So it's just, what happens? You just got to get out there, make yourself uncomfortable, because that's when amazing things start happening.
It's funny that we talk about, I think, people putting a personal face and a personal story on just a brand or a product or something that they're using that's helping them, or maybe they're invested, it's their business. I think that's just so important. And the one that always comes to mind for me, and this is what is also interesting, is that customers that maybe are not your customer today may be the perfect customer for you in a month or 5 months or 10 months, when that period of their life or that need in their life surfaces or arises. Because I'll share this story and then we'll do my final question here. We just moved to a new house, a different house last year. And of course, we got all the problems that came with buying a house that was not made in the last 2 years. And the number one issue was, in California, we've had this drought for like 5 years or whatever. I mean, just no rain, not much happening. Which is why maybe Californians probably don't want to do all their thinking in the shower. So of course, in the last year, we started getting rain, and it was a lot. And now we're just kind of seem to get dumps or it's dry, or dumps or it's dry. And so water drainage was this huge issue, and I had to suddenly figure out how to do a drain, like a drainage system on my property. I've never had to think about that in my life, never even considered it as something I would need to do. So of course, what do? The first place you go look is YouTube, or you go to the internet. And guess whose videos are showing up, like top of my searches on YouTube? It was this little drainage company in like Northern Carolina. Some guy just turned on his video camera and was like, hey, I'm passionate about French drains. I'm going to show you how we make French drains here at Apple Drains, I think was the company. And I swear to God, I watched like 10 of this guy's videos, and they were not, amazing technical. He was clearly not a video maker, but they were by far like a godsend to me. Like, they literally were exactly what I needed when I needed them, and he was the top of the YouTube. And so whatever it was this guy was doing, he had optimized the search, or maybe there just wasn't a lot of competition, but I'm sure his business just took off after that, because I was noticing like 50,000 views, 100,000 views. Like, this dude was killing it with these just teeny dinky little videos. And man, I'd never thought I would be his like, learning from him. And I don't think he would have necessarily predicted that when he started shooting those videos. But I think what you're saying, there's a lot of sense in it.
Same thing with like the Chewbacca mask lady.
Yeah.
She turned on her camera and it changed her life forever.
Right.
Just because she decided to shoot that video. So I tell my people all the time, turn on your camera. You never know what's going to happen, but nothing's going to happen if you do nothing.
Right. So, okay, final question for the day. And it's actually not, a life one, although I kind of do want to go with that. What's, meaning of life? You talked about search engine optimization. You talked about YouTube search engine optimization. I'd really think people will get a lot of value if you go check out Matt's courses or talk to Matt about that stuff. But Matt, what about Facebook search optimization? Are you looking into that at all? Because I know it can be difficult to find things on Facebook. So how are you managing that?
Yeah,
do you have any tips for that?
Yeah, the content in Facebook that you post typically will not show up in Google as high as the Google content that is literally in Google from your website or your blog. And then on the other side, YouTube content shows up very high as well when people are searching in Google. Now in Facebook, it doesn't show up as high. So Facebook is more about the interests. You need to connect with people with similar interests. And what I tell people to do, go into Facebook groups and go start connecting with people, go start meeting people. Go start talking about their passions, jump into conversations. And it's kind of where Twitter used to be. I was a heavy advocate on the beginning of Twitter. Got to meet the founders, went to some tweet ups when I lived in New York City, met a bunch of amazing people through Twitter. And Twitter started dying because conversations started dying. As Facebook groups started really taking off, those conversations are now in Facebook groups. So for those who are looking for opportunity, I don't care what you're doing. If you're doing, drainage systems, if you're doing roofing, if you're doing painting, there are communities of people, and I've seen them in Facebook talking about these things. Go and seek out like-minded people, jump into conversations, and just get to know people. And that's what this live video is all about, because I have met so many people from across the world just from doing these live videos. And they come on, they message, they tell me about their frustrations, they tell me about their business, they tell me about, some of the struggles that they have. And just from doing just that, meeting people through, different communities and doing these live videos each day, people have slowly been attracting where I've been able to connect with thousands of people across the world, which has been absolutely amazing for myself. And it's absolutely free for me to do through, what I'm doing here.
That is so rad. Okay, I promised that was the last question, but it's not. LinkedIn. Can you talk real quick about LinkedIn and your thoughts on that? And I know there's a lot of LinkedIn groups, B2B stuff is kind of considered LinkedIn's forte. Where should LinkedIn fit into someone's live streaming strategy? I think sharing, obviously they don't have live streaming direct to LinkedIn or anything like that, but you can certainly bring people to your Facebook page or bring them to a YouTube. Is that where you recommend it, as of a supplemental nature to either your main content on YouTube or Facebook?
There definitely is an opportunity in LinkedIn. I've made some sales and I've connected with some people through LinkedIn. If you've never upgraded your LinkedIn profile to their premium, you can upgrade for free for the first 30 days and go and check out their premium settings. You can go and search out exactly who it is that you're looking for. But again, you have to define who that avatar is, the person who you are targeting, and you need to be able to hone down to that person. Now, in my 30-day campaign that I was building, I was going out and looking for investment dollars for one of the projects we were looking on. So I upgraded my account and started connecting with venture capitalists. From that, I had a couple people come in and say, Matt, you do SEO? Okay, well, I have a dozen companies that all need to rank in search engines. Will you take on these companies and start doing all the work for them? So I've had some amazing opportunity to connect with amazing people in LinkedIn. But realistically, for a live broadcasting type situation, LinkedIn is more of a business card. Listen, I have a stack of business cards right over there, and LinkedIn is a digital business card.
It's a Rolodex.
So if
yeah.
it's like a Rolodex of business cards, but direct response marketing, I don't see that being on LinkedIn. I've tested LinkedIn ads. I don't see a return on what I'm looking for. But what you can do is upgrade your profile, use their advanced search, add a bunch of people, not too many because then their little spam thing goes on, but add 10 of them, go and give them really nice messages. Hey, my name is Matt. I think that we can do some business together. And a good warm message and a good handshake, a digital handshake. And you never know where the conversation's going to go.
Yeah, so it sounds like you would recommend LinkedIn for strategic value, strategic purposes, not necessarily for broad-based marketing campaigns where you're trying to fill a large funnel. So strategic partnership stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. Makes good sense. Well, Matt, I think we covered it all, right? And so we're done. You don't have to do this anymore. You've said everything you need to say.
I'm more than happy to come back and chat with you again. Just let me know when.
Oh, well, we will definitely have you back. This has been a real pleasure, and thanks for indulging my curiosity and for helping everyone out there who's watching. Check out Matt at the $1 Million Plan. Is that the correct? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
$1
Okay.
milliondollarplan.net.
Okay. $1milliondollarplan.net. We will have links in the comments. We will add that to the Facebook, the YouTube channel as well. And Matt, thanks so much for joining us. This was great, and we'll definitely have you back.
Thank you so much for taking some time.
Have a good one.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye. All right, folks, that was our interview with Matt Ganzak. Matt, you were a great guest, and we hope that this was valuable for all of you guys. And for those of you who want to see how to stream to Periscope, I think we're going to come back and do that in a show. And so stay tuned. We'll be back with a Periscope demonstration on how you can use Wirecast and live streaming to stream to Periscope, which is the newest and latest platform to accept Wirecast streams. So you can add value to your customers or get your word out that way. Thanks again to Matt Ganzak for joining us. This is Andrew, and we'll see you next week.